Is Rajasthan heading for a major cabinet rejig? In a meeting at the Chief Minister's residence, Ashok Gehlot's residence on Saturday, all ministers resigned ahead of the mega reshuffle. The expansion is being seen as a reconciliation between Chief Minister Ashok Gehlot and Sachin Pilot's camps. Rajasthan Congress Chief Govind Singh Dotasra has claimed that a rejig is actually a routine process. The swearing-in ceremony is likely to take place around 4 p.m. in Jaipur today. Pilot loyalist Hemaram Chaudhary, Brijendra Ola, Dipendra Singh and Shekhawat from Ramesh Meena, Murlilal Meena are all eyeing a cabinet berth. The cabinet expansion is also going to be seeing the inclusion of some BSP and independent MLAs. The expansion is being seen as a small victory for Pilot, who has led an unsuccessful revolt against Chief Minister Ashok Gehlot since 2020. Key farmers meeting today at Singhu border to discuss the road ahead. The Samyukt Kisan Morcha is going to be meeting today to discuss on the next course of action regarding the ongoing agitation. A final decision on the MSP strategy and other demands will be taken up in this meeting. Representatives from all 42 farmers' organizations will participate in the meeting. Farmers are resilient over their decision to not end the agitation till the time the law is actually formally revoked in Parliament. A 9-member core committee had on Saturday demanded a guarantee law to be passed by the Centre for Ensuring MSP. They also have demanded to hold discussions over farmer vets and also FIRs lodged against them during the 15-month-long protest. Decision on the proposed daily tractor march to Parliament during the upcoming winter session is also going to be taken during this meeting. Well, a day after Modi government repealed the three farm laws, Telangana Chief Minister K. Chandrasekhar Rao has announced a compensation of 3 lakh rupees for over 700 farmers who lost their lives during the 15-month-long farmer agitation. He has allocated rupees 22 crores for this work and has requested farmer union leaders to send the details of the farmers who've died during the course of 15 months. KCR is also likely to take a delegation to Delhi to meet the Prime Minister. He's demanded the centre to announce 25 lakh rupees ex gratia to each family member and also withdraw all cases against farmers. He said that the centre must now form a bill that guarantees MSP. His announcement comes a day after the Congress decided to pay its tributes to the slain farmers. Well, these are demands that K. Chandrasekhar Rao is making, and he's also planning a delegation to the centre to talk about these issues, including cancellation of all criminal cases pending against these farmers and announcing ex gratia to the tune of 25 lakh rupees. Well, after Prime Minister Modi's announcement of repealing farm laws, the clamour is growing for the withdrawal of the Citizenship Amendment Act and also the restoration of Article 370. Taking a shot at the government, Jammu and Kashmir Congress Chief Ghulam Ahmed Mir has said the Prime Minister will apologise for Article 370 also very, very soon. Earlier, PDP President Mehbooba Mufti and National Conference Chief Dr. Farooq Abdullah had also demanded the restoration of Article 370 and 35A and the statehood of Jammu and Kashmir. Amroha MP and former BSP Lok Sabha leader Kunwar Danish Ali has called for the repeal of the Citizenship Amendment Act without further delay. Students of Aligarh Muslim University have said they will take to the streets against CAA and NRC. Jamiat Ulema-e-Hind President Maulana Arshad Madni has said the government should roll back Citizenship Amendment Act as they did with the farm laws.
बनाती है, लोगों के सुझाव आते हैं, बातचीत होती है, पार्लियामेंट में डिस्कशन होता है, बाहर डिस्कशन होता है और उसके बाद जो सबकी राय बनती है वो सरकार करती है और अभी ऐसा कोई विषय नहीं।
And there's a police complaint once again against Bollywood actor Kangana Ranaut. The actor is in the dock for yet another controversial remark. After Prime Minister Modi repealed the three farm laws, Kangana claimed Khalistanis have arm-twisted the government. BJP's All Ally Akali Dal was quick to hit out at the actor. The spokesperson of Akali Dal, Majinder Singh Sirsa, filed a police complaint against Kangana over her disrespectful and insulting remarks against the Sikh community. Sirsa's hit out at the actor, saying that she should either be in a mental hospital or jail, while demanding strict action against her. On Saturday, Kangana took to microblogging platform Instagram, saying that the Khalistanis arm-twisted the government and that our country needs someone like Indira Gandhi because she crushed them like mosquitoes under her slippers at the cost of her own life.
इस नचड़िया को अपनी जुबान पर काबू रखने को कहो। कहीं हमारे लोगों का संयम खो गया तो कौन कहां कुचला जाएगा इसका पता भी नहीं चलेगा। और मैं देश की सरकार को भी कहना चाहता हूं, ऐसे नचिया लोगों को आप सुरक्षा देते हैं, ऐसे घटिया मानसिकता के लोगों को आप साथ में गनमैन देकर चलाते हैं। ये जेल में जगह इनकी मेंटल अस्पताल में जगह है, ना कि इनकी समाज पे जगह है। इसको इनके खिलाफ कार्रवाई करे सरकार और इसको मेंटल अस्पताल में दाखिल करा के इसका इलाज कराए।
Well, talking about controversies, let's get you more details of the king of controversy, Navjot Singh Sidhu, who has also stoked a massive row during his visit to the revered Kartarpur Gurudwara. While expressing his love for Pakistan as a country, also as the Prime Minister Imran Khan, Punjab Congress chief called him his Bada Bhai. Sidhu's love for Pakistan drew sharp criticism from the BJP as the Saffron Party hit out at the Congress Neta for his alleged special bond with the Pakistan Prime Minister.
मेरा बड़ा भाई,
very warm,
मेरा बड़ा भाई, उसमें बहुत प्यार.
We have been waiting for this day for so long.
There seems to be no end to Navjot Singh Sidhu's Pakistan Prem Katha. The controversy king has again openly expressed his love for Pakistan Prime Minister. He called Imran Khan his Bada Bhai. Listen into this.
मेरा बड़ा भाई,
very warm,
मेरा बड़ा भाई, उसमें बहुत प्यार.
We have been waiting for this day for so long.
During his visit to the revered Kartarpur Gurudwara on Saturday, Punjab Congress chief Navjot Singh Sidhu also spoke about the love that the Pakistan Prime Minister has showered on him. Sidhu's remarks drew sharp criticism from the BJP as Congress tried to downplay the matter.
जिस कमर बाजवा ने, जिस पाकिस्तान की आर्मी ने हिंदुस्तान के पीठ पर खंजर भोंकने का हमेशा काम किया है, उसी पाकिस्तान के आर्मी चीफ से गले भी लग चुके थे पहले नवजोत सिंह सिद्धू, आज फिर से अपने इस रिश्ते को दोबारा बड़े भाई के दर्जे में लेकर आए हैं।
कोई बंदा वहां का भी उस टाइम कैप्टन था, वो क्रिकेट खेला हुआ था, आज वहां का प्राइम मिनिस्टर, अगर इमरान खान प्राइम मिनिस्टर ही ना बनता तो फिर क्या ऐसी बात थी? क्योंकि वाजपेयी जी गए, मोदी जी खुद गए। जब मोदी जी जफ्फी डालते हैं बीजेपी को कुछ नहीं, सारा कुछ ठीक लगता है।
This is not the first time that Sidhu's Pakistan Prem has raised eyebrows. He was slammed for praising Imran Khan during the opening of Kartarpur Corridor in 2019, and a year before that as well.
आदमी खाना खाने से तृप्त नहीं होता, आदर मान और सम्मान से तृप्त होता है, और जिसे इज्जत मिल गई, मुझे लगता है उसे सारी कायनात मिल गई। Therefore I thank खान साहिब, मेरे उनके साथ बड़े पर्सनल संबंध हैं। मैं ये अजारा सोने खाना दिल दे शहंशाह खान इमराना तेरी खातिर दिल नजराना लेके आया, हाँ दिल नजराना लेके आया।
The Congress Neta even faced flack for his infamous hug with Pakistan Army Chief General Qamar Bajwa during Imran Khan's swearing-in ceremony in 2018. While speaking to India Today, former Punjab Chief Minister Captain Amrinder Singh, who was forced to give up his post due to infighting with Sidhu, questioned his close ties with Pakistan.
I'll certainly not support him for being in this way with Pakistan. His great buddies are all there, and the way he handles them there. After all, it is a matter of national security, and national security for me comes first.
With only few months left for Punjab Assembly elections, Will Sidhu's Pakistan bhaichara cost Congress dearly in the border state? Bureau Report, India Today.
As heavy spells of rains disrupt normalcy in southern Indian states, Andhra Pradesh saw roads inundated in Tirupati and Kadapa districts. At least 15 people have lost their lives and 18 are still missing. Chief Minister Jagan Mohan Reddy has conducted an aerial survey of the flood-affected areas. Here's more.
Buses washed away, and with them 20 villagers in Andhra Pradesh's Kadapa district as heavy rains continue to batter the state. Several areas of Andhra Pradesh, including Kadapa and Anantapur districts, remain inundated, resulting in loss of life and property. Kadiri town in Anantapur district witnessed a massive building collapse, leaving 2 children dead and at least 4 residents trapped under the rubble. 6 residents of the building were rescued by officials and are being treated at a local hospital. The heavy rains are the result of a depression over the Bay of Bengal that crossed the coast between Tamil Nadu and Andhra Pradesh on Friday. Floods in Tirumala, the abode of Lord Venkateshwara, has left hundreds of pilgrims stranded. The 4 streets adjoining the main temple in the Tirumala hills are also inundated. Videos showed heavy flow of water from the hills, the rivers overflowing and taking with it cattle and vehicles. Efforts by the Indian Air Force are on to rescue the stranded. Worried about the situation in rain-battered Andhra, Prime Minister Modi dialed Chief Minister Y.S. Jagan Mohan Reddy and has assured full support to the state.
So all the collectors are, I think all of you have been with whatever limitations on rain, you've been doing a good job. But please make sure that all of you are very compassionate towards the needs of the people. Families that have unfortunately been casualties in this, please ensure that payment of 5 lakhs is given to them at the earliest.
Met Department has predicted more rains and heavy rain in Telangana. Districts of South Telangana will receive rain, including Hyderabad. And Hyderabad Weather Department has predicted rain and drizzling in Hyderabad too.
With Ashish Pandey and Pramod Madhav, Bureau Report, India Today.
Moving on, INS Vishakhapatnam, the first stealth guided missile destroyer ship of Project 15B is going to be commissioned tomorrow in the presence of Defence Minister Rajnath Singh. Vishakhapatnam has been constructed using indigenous steel and is amongst the largest destroyers constructed in India. Take a look.
INS Vishakhapatnam, the stealth-guided missile destroyer. Made in India's largest destroyer. Constructed using indigenous steel with an overall length of 163 meters and displacement of over 7,400 tons. Equipped with 75% made in India weapons.
सुपर रैपिड गन माउंट है जो भारत हेवी इलेक्ट्रिकल्स ने बनाई है। ये एक टाइम टेस्टेड गन है। ये 15 किलोमीटर तक इसका गोला दागा जा सकता है और ये प्रिसिशन के साथ इसका गोला ऑर्डिनेंस टारगेट पे हिट करता है। इसकी कैपेबिलिटी है और ये स्टैंडर्ड फिट है हमारे जहाज़ पे।
A ship potent and capable of undertaking multifarious tasks and missions spanning the full spectrum of maritime warfare. Built at the Mazgaon dock in Mumbai, INS Visakhapatnam warship is a product of Make in India initiative.
Mazgaon Dock Limited itself has evolved in a big way. And I remember 25 years ago, I used to be on a ship called INS Ganga, which is one of the initial ships that MDL had produced in the 1980s. And I personally can say, and I'm proud to say that from then till now, it's been a sea change. It's been a generational shift in terms of the quality of ships that MDL has produced. So it's an honor.
Indigenous special steel used on the outer surface of the warship makes it stealth and helps INS Visakhapatnam in escaping from the radar of enemies.
जहाज जो है वो नेक्स्ट जनरेशन रडार है, दुनिया का वन ऑफ द बेस्ट रडार है जो अपने समय से आगे है और जहाज़ रडार की जो कैपेबिलिटीज़ हैं वो लगभग 200 माइल से भी ज़्यादा आगे तक जाकर के दुश्मन के टारगेट्स को पकड़ सकता है एट द सेम टाइम अपनी पोजीशन को डिस्क्लोज किए बिना।
इस रेडार की वजह से हम उस दुश्मन तक पहुंच सकते हैं जहां पर बाकी लोगों के लिए पहुंचना नामुमकिन सा होता है, मगर जिस तरीके की मॉडर्न सुविधाएं इस जहाज़ में दी गई है उससे हम किसी भी दुश्मन को कहीं भी इसके आसपास के रेडियस में आसानी से पकड़ सकते हैं।
Powered by 4 powerful gas turbines, the Indian destroyer is capable of achieving a speed of more than 30 knots.
इसका टर्नेज है जो द स्पीड विच वी कैन डू 56 किलोमीटर पर प्रति घंटे रफ्तार में जो जा सकता है एंड द longitude, the distance which we can cover, that is 6,000 nautical mile without refueling. That is at this stage of world power, we are much more superpower with this kind of speciality.
The Made in India warship is equipped with an array of weapons and sensors, including supersonic surface-to-surface and surface-to-air missiles, medium and short-range guns, anti-submarine rockets, and advanced electronic warfare and communication suits.
ये जो हमारा मिसाइल है ये हमारा स्वदेशी ज्ञान कौशल से बना है और ये सबसे हमारा ब्रह्मास्त्र अस्त्र है। इसको हम जहां वार करेंगे वो सटीक सही तरीके से वो वार करेगा।
The destroyer will be inducted in the naval fleet on Sunday and will be a major boost to India's arsenal as well as Prime Minister's Atmanirbhar defense push. Bureau Report, India Today.
Who was the COVID-19 patient zero? According to a new study, a vendor at a seafood market in the central Chinese city of Wuhan is said to have been the first to have contracted the virus. Well, the claims are said to reignite the debate really on the origins of the COVID-19 pandemic. Here's a full report.
The first known case of COVID-19 was a market vendor in the Chinese city of Wuhan. That's according to a U.S. researcher who documented his findings in a commentary piece published in the journal Science on Thursday. The origin of the pandemic remains a mystery and a major source of tension between China and the United States. Up until now, an accountant who appeared to have no link to the Wuhan market was widely thought of as the first known case of the disease following a joint investigation by China and the World Health Organization. His case, however, contributed to speculation the virus could have leaked from a lab in the city. U.S. scientist Michael Warby, who specializes in the evolution of viruses at the University of Arizona, has pored over public accounts of early COVID-19 cases and drawn up a different conclusion. He said the accountant reported that his first symptoms appeared on December the 16th, several days later than initially known. He also said the confusion was caused by a dental problem the accountant had on December the 8th. Warby's article details how most early symptomatic cases were linked to the market, with a female seafood vendor there the earliest known case on December 11th. While his research does not settle the debate over how the pandemic began, it does provide strong evidence of a live animal market origin. Last month, the WHO proposed a new expert panel to investigate the source of the coronavirus.
The world's still grappling for answers as to how the pandemic really started. That's it from me for the moment. For all news and updates, do log on to our website. That's indiatoday.in. You can also download the app. Thanks for watching.